There is a silent trap that most people fall into without even realizing it. It does not look like a trap at first. In fact, it looks like success, confidence, and progress. It looks like new shoes before your business is stable. It looks like a shiny phone before your savings account is even breathing. It looks like eating in expensive places just so people can respect your level. And yet, behind all of this, something dangerous is happening. People are staying poor while trying to look rich. Now, here is the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Wealth is not built by how rich you look. Wealth is built by how poor you are willing to look while you build it. Acting poor is not about living in lack or thinking small. It is about discipline, restraint, patience, and delayed gratification in a world that is constantly begging you to spend what you don't have to impress people who don't matter. The richest people you admire today did not become wealthy by showing wealth early. They became wealthy by hiding their progress, sacrificing comfort, and choosing boring financial discipline over flashy validation. While others were upgrading lifestyles, they were upgrading assets. While others were chasing appearances, they were chasing accumulation. And this is where the separation begins. Because the world does not reward the person who looks successful. The world rewards the person who actually becomes successful, quietly, consistently, and often unnoticed in the beginning. So when we say acting poor, we are not talking about poverty mindset. We are talking about wealth strategy, a hidden code that separates those who build real financial freedom from those who stay stuck in a cycle of earning and spending, but never actually owning anything meaningful. If you can understand this principle deeply, it can change how you handle money forever. It can shift your decisions, your habits, your priorities, and even your identity. Because real wealth is not built in public. It is built in silence, sacrifice, and discipline. And the paradox is this: the more you are willing to act poor in the short term, the richer your future becomes. The hidden power of delayed status. One of the biggest reasons people stay financially stuck is because they confuse status with success. Status is what people see. Success is what actually compounds in the background. And in today's world, status has become dangerously affordable. Anyone can look rich for a weekend. Anyone can rent confidence through clothes, phones, cars, and lifestyle displays on social media. But none of that creates wealth. When you choose to act poor, you are doing something powerful that most people cannot handle. You are delaying your need for validation. You are saying no to temporary respect in exchange for long-term freedom. And that decision alone separates builders from spenders. Think about it carefully. Every time you choose not to upgrade your lifestyle prematurely, you are actually buying yourself time. Time to invest. Time to learn. Time to compound. Time to build something that lasts longer than applause from strangers. The truth is, wealth grows quietly before it becomes visible. The foundation of every financially free person is built in seasons where nobody was impressed by them. They were not the ones posting luxury. They were the ones skipping unnecessary expenses, choosing simple living, and redirecting money into assets instead of appearances. But here is where it becomes emotionally difficult. Acting poor means you will be misunderstood. People may think you are behind. Some may even assume you are failing. Because society does not see your bank balance. It sees your behavior. And your behavior will not always match your potential during the building phase. This is where most people quit the strategy. They cannot tolerate being underestimated. They cannot handle being invisible. So they rush into lifestyle upgrades to prove something. But in doing so, they destroy the very capital that would have proven everything later. The wealthy understand something simple but powerful. Respect is rented, but wealth is owned. And rented respect is expensive. When you delay status, you unlock something rare: financial breathing room. You are no longer forced to chase money every month just to maintain appearances. You begin to operate from a position of control instead of pressure. And that control is where real wealth begins. Because the moment you are no longer trying to impress people, you start making decisions that actually benefit your future instead of your ego. Why? Looking broke protects your future wealth. There is a strange irony in life. Looking broke often protects you from becoming broke, not because poverty is ideal, but because simplicity creates safety. When you look like you don't have much, you naturally attract less financial pressure, fewer unnecessary expectations, and less lifestyle inflation. Most people do not realize that wealth is not just about how much you earn. It is about how much you are able to keep. And the greatest enemy of keeping money is lifestyle inflation, the silent habit of increasing your spending every time your income increases. When you act poor, you interrupt that pattern. You create a buffer between income and ego. You allow your money to grow without being constantly drained by emotional spending. Instead of upgrading your lifestyle every time you earn more, you upgrade your investments, your skills, and your opportunities. This is where compounding begins to work in your favor. Because money that is not spent recklessly begins to multiply. It begins to work for you instead of disappearing from you. And over time, that difference becomes massive. Another hidden benefit of looking broke is protection. When people do not assume you are wealthy, you live with less external pressure. You are not constantly expected to pay for others, fund lifestyles, or maintain images. You move more freely. You decide more clearly. You are not trapped in the performance of success. And ironically, many people who look rich are actually financially fragile. Their entire lifestyle depends on constant income flow. One disruption, and everything collapses. But those who chose discipline early, those who acted poor when it was uncomfortable, often built reserves that give them stability even when life becomes unpredictable. There is also something psychological happening here. When you live simply, your mind becomes sharper. You begin to distinguish between needs and wants with greater clarity. You stop confusing emotional desire with financial necessity. And that clarity is one of the most underrated wealth-building tools in existence. Because poor financial decisions are rarely made from logic, they are made from emotion. And acting poor trains your emotions to slow down, to think, to resist impulse, and to prioritize long-term gain over short-term satisfaction. So in reality, looking broke is not about poverty. It is about protection. Protection from ego, protection from pressure, and protection from financial self-destruction disguised as success. The millionaire mindset that looks ordinary. If you studied the early stages of most wealthy people, you would be shocked by how normal they looked. No excessive luxury, no loud display, no desperate need to prove anything, just consistency, discipline, and quiet accumulation. This is because real wealth is not emotional, it is mathematical. It is not built through impulse, it is built through repetition. And repetition requires humility. You must be willing to do the same boring things for years without needing applause. Acting poor is powerful because it trains humility into your financial identity. It removes the illusion that you need external validation to feel successful. It builds patience in a world addicted to instant gratification. The millionaire mindset is not about how much money you have. It is about how you treat money when no one is watching. Do you spend it to impress, or do you invest it to expand? Do you chase comfort today or freedom tomorrow? Do you buy status, or do you build systems? Most people never become wealthy because they cannot survive the ordinary phase. The phase where nothing looks impressive, yet everything important is being built. They quit too early because they want results that are visible before they are valuable. But wealth does not reward visibility. It rewards consistency. Acting poor in this stage means you are willing to look ordinary while building something extraordinary. It means you are comfortable being misunderstood financially. It means you are okay not participating in every trend, every upgrade, every lifestyle race. And here is the deeper truth. Ordinary behavior creates extraordinary outcomes when repeated long enough. Small savings, consistent investing, controlled spending, and patient growth may look insignificant in a single moment, but over years they become life-changing. This mindset also protects you from comparison. When you are not trying to look rich, you are not competing with people who are also pretending. You step out of a dangerous game where everyone is trying to outshine each other financially, but nobody is actually winning. Instead, you focus on building real leverage, skills, income streams, investments, and opportunities that compound over time. The millionaire mindset is not loud. It is not rushed. It is not desperate. It is calm, strategic, and deeply intentional. And acting poor is often the training ground where this mindset is formed. The day you stop performing and start building. There comes a turning point in every financially successful person's journey. A moment where they stop performing wealth and start building it. A moment where they stop spending to be seen and start saving to be free. A moment where they realize that nobody is actually paying them for looking rich, but life will reward them for being financially disciplined. That is the moment acting poor transforms from a strategy into a lifestyle choice rooted in wisdom. Because once you experience the power of accumulated discipline, you no longer want to return to the cycle of appearance-based living. You begin to value freedom over validation. You begin to prefer ownership over impression. You begin to see money not as a tool for status, but as a tool for options. And options are the real definition of wealth. When you have options, you are not trapped in bad jobs. You are not trapped in debt. You are not trapped in pressure. You can choose. And that ability to choose is built slowly, quietly, through years of acting poor, while building assets in the background. At this stage, you realize something profound. Nobody actually cares about your financial performance as much as you think. Most people are too focused on their own lives. And this realization is freeing. It removes the emotional burden of impressing others and replaces it with the responsibility of building your own future. The people who win financially are not the ones who look successful first. They are the ones who become successful first and allow time to reveal it later. So the question is not whether acting poor is comfortable. It is not. The question is whether you want temporary comfort or permanent freedom, because you cannot have both at the same intensity. And if you choose wisely, you will understand that every time you resisted unnecessary spending, every time you ignored the pressure to upgrade, every time you chose discipline over display, you were not losing status, you were buying your freedom. And that is the wealthiest thing a person can ever do.